Hey guys, it's Ernst here. I just wanted to do a little video and review Rainbow Six Siege. I want to go over a couple good things, a couple bad things, and a couple of things that I'd like to see changed about the game that would make it more unbelievable than it already is. As most of you guys know, once I got this game donated, I've sort of been in love with it ever since. If you follow my stream, I streamed it almost every day since the game came out, and you see a lot on the YouTube of highlights from the streams themselves. So first I want to go into the bad. Right off the bat, matchmaking servers, it's just taking plain and simple too long for the match that actually ends up existing. You know, our matches typically last between 15 and 20 minutes, and we're spending about 3 to 5 minutes just matchmaking and getting us another team, and that's with a pre-made team, not to mention going solo or having, say, 3 people on a team. Once they get that fixed, I think that'll be a key. The other thing that I think they need to fix about the servers is just what it looks like when somebody's ping is actually spiking. I do get a lot of situations where friends may have spiking pings and it disconnects them. And when they disconnect, it makes me want to just disconnect and go start a new round, except I have to wait 3 to 5 minutes. I think that's a bit of an issue, and that's something they definitely need to be taking a look at right away. I've seen in the patch notes that seems to be something they're focusing on, so I can't wait till it's fixed so that we don't have to worry about it. Another issue that I find that I consider bad about this game comes from the hostage and bomb modes. In hostage, when the rescuers grab the hostage and begin to work their way outside, it's the terrorists or the people that capture the hostage in order to prevent that from happening. There's a big issue where sometimes you need to push outside and kill the person that's trying to rescue the hostage, and yet when you step outside, you get detected right away. And so if there's a penetrable surface that they can shoot through, they're going to just shoot you rather than having to actually worry about where you're potentially coming from. On the same side, on the bomb side, you can plant the diffuser at any close window or near a door and hold outside. And if I need to kill the people that are holding the diffuser, I either have to win the battle one-on-one where they can peek me from outside, and they have a huge advantage there. Or if I go outside, I get spotted and they know exactly where I'm at. So I think there's a little bit of an issue there on the hostage and bomb situations to where it shouldn't be able to do that. I'm not exactly sure what the fix is. It could be just putting the hostage and the bomb in a more central location to the map, not next to doors and etc. that are right outside, be able to breachable right outside to where they can hold that. Or if they just get rid of the detection once the hostage has been grabbed, or once the diffuser has been planted. To me, that seems like the easier fix. That's what I would probably do. Lastly, on the hostage side, I think there's another fix where, as an attacker or a rescuer, you shouldn't be able to shoot the hostage until you touch the hostage. And I think that's important because the nature of the game is to rescue the hostage. If somebody is straddling the hostage on defense and you have to kill that person in order to get to the hostage, you shouldn't be at risk of having to shoot the hostage and lose the round because somebody else decided to use that strat. I think it's a little bit unfair considering you can't pre-nade into the sites where the hostage is because you may damage the hostage. I'm not saying take away the pre-nading damage that a hostage may take, but perhaps just shooting a hostage until one of your teammates touches the hostage. On the reverse end of it, if you're preventing a hostage from being taken, I think once they take the hostage, you shouldn't be able to shoot the hostage. And the reason is if somebody's running away from you with the hostage on their back and you're trying to kill them to prevent that and you shoot the hostage, you lose the round. And I don't think that's really the nature of rescuing hostages. Yes, I know in real life that's what would happen, but we're playing a video game. It's not real life. I'm sorry. Lastly, I wanted to mention something about ranked as well, and I think this is just something that should be explored. I really think that the ranked cooldowns for anybody that abandons the match should be much greater. Obviously, this comes with the thought that they're going to fix the server, so you're not going to be kicked from a ranked match. But if somebody leaves a ranked match, they should get a much longer cooldown than just 8 minutes. And the reason why is people are playing ranked because they're getting pretty serious about the game. They want to play people that are their same rank, or they're trying to build a team and become more competitive, whatever the situation is. If they have to play 4v5 or 5 against 4 and it's determining their rank, there really needs to be a higher penalty in order for if somebody decides to leave, because they're not backfilling that slot, and that's a little bit wrong in my opinion. Now let's go ahead and talk about one change that I'd like to make, and then we'll hop into the good. Really, the one change that I want to make about this game, based off of everything I've experienced, is to make the shields a little bit more balanced. Right now, the shields are just a little bit too OP, and there's really not enough as a team of operators that you can do in order to prevent a shield. Yes, there are ways of preventing a shield. I'm not saying that. But there really is no situation if you're in a 1v1 against a shield in which you're going to win. If you have two able-bodied players and they're both equal in terms of aiming, the shield is going to win, I'm going to guess, 70 to 80% of the time. And that's a little bit too high for me. There's a couple different ideas on what it may look like. Maybe the hitboxes for shoulders and knees are a little bit bigger. I liked one where maybe you get an option as a defending operator to either have a frag grenade or even the option of having an armor-piercing round. So maybe you get one armor-piercing operator that gets introduced to the game. That may be a way to help defend against the shields. Another idea that we heard in talking about it on the stream is perhaps the window of the shield gets a little bit smaller. And with that, it allows it also to be penetrable. So perhaps after 3 or 4 bullets, the window breaks out, and then on the 5th or 6th bullet or something like that, you can actually get a headshot. It puts an emphasis on skilled shooting, and it also gives the attacker or the defender in that situation an opportunity to take out a shield. I think that's just something that should be considered. I don't know how Ubisoft's going to view it, but I tend to think that the shields in this instance are just a little bit too OP. Now, let's hop into the good. The thing that keeps me coming back to this game time and time again, even with any matchmaking issues and shields on airplane, is the map design. I think they did a really, really good job with all of the maps. Essentially, all the maps are a big giant square from the outside, but as you get inside, there's different mazes. And those little mazes that can be created with barricades and attacking paths are very interesting. It seems like almost every room has 2 or 3 entrances, which puts an emphasis on focusing on 1 or 2 entrances and perhaps being vulnerable to the other. So as an attacker, you're looking for those vulnerabilities. As a defender, you're making sure you're watching those vulnerabilities. Gun mechanics. I think that they did an amazing job in gun mechanics. The idea that every gun is a one-shot headshot is awesome because it puts an emphasis on skilled aiming. The other piece of gun mechanics that I wanted to talk about is that all of the guns will always fire the bullet wherever the crosshair is. So there's no spray control you need to learn like in Counter-Strike. If your crosshair is near the person, the bullet is going where the crosshair is. So I think that's really important, especially as you're learning to manage the recoil. It's not that great of recoil. It's really not that hard to manage the recoil in this game, at least on PC. I know on console it may be. It's a little bit harder with your thumbsticks. But in this game, when the crosshair is on the person, it goes exactly where that's exactly where the bullet goes. And so I think that's something that's really important, where it puts an emphasis on aiming versus just random spray and getting a lucky bullet that goes and pops somebody into the head. Lastly, the thing that I think they did very, very well in this game is the class system. It seems that operators are pretty well balanced. You know, at first I couldn't stand IQ, but it come to find out she has probably the second best guns in the game, and the same is true with Twitch. Sure, Twitch's little drone often gets shot out or is not a person killer, but you know, Twitch has probably the best guns in the game. So I think they did a really good job with operators. I also love that from an operator perspective, you get to take a look at your team and kind of figure out within the game mode what operators you guys have that are going to work best and one that may not be used. For example, do you really want to use Fuse in a hostage mode? You know, anytime somebody chooses Thermite, it's really good to have a Thatcher there to help balance that. On the defense side, a Mute and a Castle on second and third floor windows are just awesome. Mute and Bandit on the defense can take out the drones and not let the drones find any of the objectives, which is extremely helpful in setting up your own lanes versus having the attackers know exactly where it's at. So with that, I want to say I absolutely love this game. I hope there's an opportunity to change some of the bad things and change some of the balance as it relates to Shield. That's my review of the game. Hope you guys enjoyed the gameplay that was going on in the background. Just a couple highlights from my gameplay in the past. Guys, go ahead and hit me a follow on Twitter at Ernst_Blowfield, or follow my streams at twitch.tv/Ernst_Blowfield. Thanks for watching this video. Hope you guys made it all the way through this long review, and I hope to see you next time. Talk to you all soon. Bye.